Have you ever walked through a city at night, surrounded by millions of people, yet felt completely alone? The city lights blur, the sounds fade into a distant hum, and you're just a solitary figure in a sea of strangers. But what if, in that very moment, destiny decided to intervene? What if, on a night just like that, you crossed paths with someone who would change everything? Today, we're diving into a story like that, a story about love, found, tested, and remembered, beneath the iconic city lights of New York. Imagine this: two souls, adrift in the relentless energy of the Big Apple. One is an artist, chasing a dream with a sketchbook full of aspirations, and a heart guarded by past disappointments. The other, a driven professional, climbing the corporate ladder, convinced that love is a luxury they can't afford. They're worlds apart, their paths never meant to cross in a city of 8 million stories. But fate, as it often does, had a different plan. It all began on a Tuesday. The sky over Manhattan, a bruised purple, was threatening a storm. As the first fat drops of rain began to fall, people scurried for cover. Our artist, caught without an umbrella, ducks into a tiny, old-fashioned bookstore, tucked away in a quiet corner of Greenwich Village. The bell above the door chimes, announcing their arrival to the sole other occupant, our professional, who was browsing the poetry section, seeking a moment of peace after a grueling day. Their eyes meet across a pile of forgotten classics. A simple, polite smile is exchanged. But then, a deafening clap of thunder rattles the windows, plunging the store into darkness. A power outage. In the sudden, intimate dark, illuminated only by the frantic flash of lightning, a conversation begins. It's hesitant at first, just small talk about the weather, about the book in their hand. But as the storm rages outside, a different kind of electricity sparks inside. They share stories, dreams, and vulnerabilities they haven't spoken of in years. It feels less like meeting a stranger and more like finding a missing piece of themselves. When the lights flicker back on hours later, they're no longer strangers. They exchange numbers. A promise of, maybe see you again, hanging in the rain-washed air. Maybe quickly turns into, definitely. Their first date is a walk through Central Park. The second, a visit to the Met. The third, a late-night slice of pizza. New York, once a backdrop for their loneliness, transforms into their personal playground. They discover the city and each other simultaneously. He learns about her passion for capturing fleeting moments in her art. She learns about the hidden pressures he faces in his high-stakes career. They find comfort in their differences and strength in their connection. It feels perfect, almost too perfect, like a scene from a movie. But real life is rarely that simple, is it? As their bond deepens, shadows from their pasts begin to creep in. She carries the weight of a past betrayal that makes her hesitant to trust completely. He harbors a secret about his family and career, a compromise he made long ago that he's terrified will make her see him in a different light. Misunderstandings, fueled by these unspoken fears, begin to create tiny fractures in their perfect world. Missed calls, vague excuses, moments of inexplicable distance. The vibrant city that brought them together now feels like it's pulling them apart. The weight of their unspoken secrets becomes a chasm between them. The breaking point arrives on a cool autumn evening. The tension has been building for weeks, an unbearable silence growing between them. Finally, he leads her to the rooftop of his apartment building. The entire city skyline glitters before them, a breathtaking panorama of light and shadow. But they barely notice. Here, with the city as their witness, the walls come down. He confesses his secret, the truth he was so afraid to share, his voice cracking with the fear of her judgment. In turn, she opens up about her own deep-seated fears of being hurt again. tears streaming down her face as she finally lets him see her complete vulnerability. It's a raw, painful, and heart-wrenching confession. All their insecurities are laid bare under the indifferent gaze of the city lights. In that moment, there's no more hiding. There's only the truth and the devastating question of whether their love is strong enough to survive it. After the rooftop confession, things are different. The raw honesty, while painful, also brings a new level of intimacy. They spend the next few weeks trying to rebuild, trying to navigate the new landscape of their relationship with all the cards on the table. There's forgiveness, and there's understanding. The love is still there, perhaps deeper than before. But sometimes, love isn't enough. The realities of their individual lives, the paths they were on before they met, begin to pull at them. A once-in-a-lifetime career opportunity for him in London, a gallery offer for her in Paris. The dreams they had before they found each other are now calling them in opposite directions. The ending isn't what you'd see in a typical romance movie. There's no dramatic airport chase, no grand gesture that solves everything. Instead, it's a quiet, mature, and deeply bittersweet decision. They meet one last time at the bookstore, where it all began. The air is thick with unspoken words and the heavy weight of what's to come. They hold hands, their fingers intertwined, memorizing the feel of each other. They acknowledge that they are two people who met at the wrong time, or perhaps the right time to teach each other a valuable lesson about love and self-discovery. They promise not to forget. A final lingering kiss, a tearful goodbye. He moves to London, she moves to Paris. They both achieve the dreams they set out to conquer. Their lives are full and successful. But sometimes, on a clear night, when they look up at the city lights of London or Paris, their minds drift back to New York. They think of a rainy night, a dark bookstore, and a rooftop confession. They wonder, what if? The story doesn't end with them together, but it doesn't end in tragedy either. It ends with the quiet, profound understanding that some loves aren't meant to be forever, but that doesn't make them any less real or life-changing. They were a beautiful, fleeting chapter in each other's stories, a love that will forever be preserved beneath the city lights. This story reminds us that love can appear in the most unexpected ways, and that its impact is not always measured by its duration. Thank you for joining me on this emotional journey today. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever had a connection that changed you, even if it didn't last? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that explore the beautiful complexities of life and love. See you next time.